Video walkthrough on Heartland Pioneer. First things first, in the back you are pre-wired for a backup camera. I'm gonna see if we can't zoom in a little bit, focus it, right there. It does not come with a backup camera, you are just pre-wired for one, but if you choose to have us install one, it's simple, and we can do that. We could get that done for you today if you'd like. It does use power from your marker lights, so the running lights on your tow vehicle need to be on. Turns the camera on, you're good to go. Bumper caps come off. That's gonna be the perfect spot to store your sewer hose. This does not come with a sewer hose. That's gonna be a purchase you guys will have to make. Rack folds down. All you do is pull out these pins here, fold the rack down, and you can store some stuff on it. It does have a 200-pound capacity. Right over here, right below your license plate, you have a cable inlet. So if you go with someone that provides cable, you can hook it up through there. Right back here, low point drains. That's going to be the lowest point of your water line. So if you're doing a winterization, you can open those up and help get some of the water out of there. Right in the back, you got your gray tank on your left. Black tank on the right. Always make sure your valves are closed before you take the cap off, because here's a perfect example right here. The valves were open when we were testing it, so all the water that was in there is in this area right now. So if I take this cap, water is going to come off. Now, if you've been using it for what it's meant for, it won't be just water that's coming out. So keep that in mind, that I always do my black tank first, then the gray. The gray tank will flush out the black water, and you don't have to carry on the stinky hose. 30 amp short cord. This is your short cord. It comes with a unit. It's about 25-30 feet long. You'll find it in that front compartment when you get your unit. Intake for airflow on your fridge, exhaust on the roof. Keep them clean. Clean it every once in a while. Clean up in here, and in here, and here. If you want to, you give these a quarter of a turn. You can pop this whole panel off. You can clean back there if you'd like. Water heater. So when you get it, it'll be all set up for you to use. All you have to do is hook up water and you'll be good to go. Before you take your drain plug out, you'll want to relieve all the pressure. You crack this open. There'll be water in there. Once the water stops sputtering out, once it stops, it'll be good to go. Then you'll be able to take your plug out. If you neglect to relieve all the pressure first, you can see all that pressure in there when we first did it. That'll come out that way, and you might lose the cap. You might get a hot bath. It'll be no fun. And then other than that, keep it clean in here, clean this often, and you should be good for a while. I recommend cleaning it once a quarter, 4 times a year. Yeah. Range vent, exterior range vent. So if you're using your fan on your range hood, make sure this is open. If not, you just push it closed. Sometimes when they're new, they can be a little finicky. Yep. There you go. There you go. Push it closed. Should be good to go. If not, it'll be flapping when you're going down the road, or I like to close it at night too so I don't get any insects in there. Freshwater fill. So if you're going to fill your onboard tank, this is where you fill it from. If you're using your onboard tank, you need to run your pump. This is where you're filling it from. It says right here, do not leave unattended. You can walk away, just don't walk away and go do a bunch of other stuff. It'll take 5-10 minutes to fill. If you start seeing water come around for your hose, it's fill. But I recommend monitoring its progress from the inside monitoring panel and stopping it before it gets to the point where it's squirting all out. City water. So if you're going somewhere that provides water, this is where you hook your hose up to. Then you won't need to run your pump. Black tank flush. When you're dumping a black tank, you can hook a hose up to there, and then it'll kind of flush out the black tank. There's a little spray nozzle in there, and it'll clean it out nice and good. Outdoor shower. Pull it out. You got hot and cold. That's nice, and then you have a spot to hook it right here. And just kind of push it back in there. and then it just snaps right in there, just like that. Right, let's see if we can't find it. Right over there, you can see it. You can see it right here. No, you can't really see it right there. But behind your axle, right there, is your drain for your fresh tank. Wait, the blue thing right there. And I recommend draining it after every trip, because if you only used half of it and you'll still have half of it in there, you don't want the water to sit in there for a while. I'm going to start to get stagnant. Exhaust for your furnace, just another thing you might want to make sure you keep it clean. They make screens for these. They don't recommend you run them with the screens on. Over here, some good information. Tire pressure, 65 psi. That's what you want to fill it at, not what your tires say. And then tire says tire size there. Cargo carrying capacity. Your VIN is over here. Gross vehicle weight rating. So lots of good information there. Pass-through storage, which you got your crank. So that one crank right there, that's a manual backup crank for these jacks right here. It goes in the end. So if you're ever to lose power, you can manually operate them with that crank. Group 24 RV Marine battery. It's a brand new battery. If it's going to be a couple of weeks between trips, I recommend disconnecting your negative lead. That way nothing is drawing any power from your battery. If it's in the winter, I definitely recommend taking your battery completely out, storing it in your garage, your basement, anywhere warmer than outside. I'll set you down to take this off. There we go. Dual 20-pound cylinders. They are full, so you don't have to worry about getting them filled. Right here is your automatic changeover regulator. So whatever this one's pointing to, you can see it's pointing to this tank. It'll pull from this tank first. If this one were to be on, it'll switch to this one automatically if this one were to get emptied. However, this doesn't rotate, indicating it has switched. So what I usually do is I have one on, the one it's pointing at, I'll leave on, the other one I'll have off. If I'm cooking or running the furnace and I notice it stops, I notice that the propane's out, I'll come out here, I'll flip this over, I'll turn this one off, and I'll turn this one on. That way I have in the back of my mind that this tank is empty. Because for all you know, you could still be thinking you're pulling from this tank and it's switched to this one and it's halfway done with this one. Now you only have half a tank of propane and you still think you have a full one left to go. Some people put this in the middle like that, thinking it's going to pull from both tanks equally. It doesn't work like that. It's one or the other. Power tongue jack with the light, and then beats hand cranking every day of the week. Got your chains, make sure you cross them. Breakaway, that'll get hooked up with all your hitch work. And then your 7-way gets plugged into your truck. That's what works for your lights. And your brakes for it. Yep. And then right here, you got a spot for manual backup. That'll be that crank right there. Other access to that storage. Right here, your power jacks. Extend and retract. Let's do the front ones because they work the same as the back ones. See, the other ones are going. This one starts going. There you go. Now these are power stabilizing jacks. These are not leveling jacks. They are not meant to pick up the weight of the trailer. Do not try to level your trailer with these. You'll trip the breaker, and if the breaker doesn't trip and you keep going, you might risk bending them. And unfortunately, that's not warrantable. That's customer damage. These are not leveling jacks. If you want your trailer to be level, use your tongue jack to get it level front and back. If you want side to side, as you're backing it in, you have to back it onto some blocks to get it level side to side. Moving along. Outdoor power outlets, GFCI protected. All your GFCIs are on the same circuit. If one is gonna trip, they're all gonna trip. And you have a cable outlet out here too. So if you wanted to set a TV on a table out here, you can watch TV outside, which is nice. With a switch for the back jacks. Storage over here, plenty of storage. And then if you wanted to buy a bumper grill, that can go out here, or if you have one of the portable grills that work with the quick disconnects, you have a propane quick disconnect right there. That pretty much concludes the exterior tour. We'll work our way onto the inside. Got your switches right here. So this switch right here turns on and off the main row of lights. This switch to the left of that does awning lights. And the one above that does, you have blue LEDs underneath the trailer. Then this, right above all that, awning switch. They don't automatically stop when it comes out. You have to visually look to see. And we'll show you what it looks like when it's all the way out. When you see the bare tube like that, you're all the way out. If you were to keep holding extend like I am now, look, I'm still holding extend, is you see how it's rolling in, but it's rolling in the fabric the wrong way around the tube. They are adjustable for pitch. All you do is you have a little detent like this on each side. Pinch them in. As you're pinching it in, grab here. You can push up or pull down to change the height of that. That'll pitch one end down. So if it's raining a little bit, you can have the water one off to one end. That way it's not all the way along the edge. However, if you start getting huge wind storms, huge gusts of wind, really big heavy rain, roll your awning back up. You don't want the wind to rip it away. And if you roll it in wet, as soon as you get the chance to, roll it back out, let the sun dry it out. Otherwise it's just gonna hold moisture and you're gonna get mildew all over it. Boom. So moving on into the bedroom. Right here, light switch for the bedroom. Just turns that light on. You do have a light underneath your bed. And then an outlet on either side. Plenty of storage. This does come up right here. Even more storage underneath the bed, which is nice. Spot for a TV. So you have an outlet for cable, outlet for power, and then if you want to mount a TV on the wall, just you feel it solid there. You can feel it solid here. Careful where you mount it. If you're going to mount it on this wall, like I said, make sure you can feel a solid spot. Right there, seems solid. And then if you buy the mount, usually the screws that come with the mount are too big. So you have to find shorter screws, because if you use the screws that come with the mount, more than likely you're going to poke a hole to the outside of the camper. Emergency exit window. There's even instructions right here how to use it. But you just push this. Kind of difficult to do one-handed, but we'll get it. Here, I'm gonna set you folks down just for a second. Alright. Definitely easier with two hands. So once you got it out like that, push it like that. You could use it like a regular window. If it were emergency, you would push this out hard as you can until it's swinging free. Grab the screen here, yank it off, and then jump out the window. Curtain for privacy, so you can divide the bedroom from everything else. Couch, flip down cup holders with lights and USB ports in both of them. And then this turns into a bed. All you do is grab underneath, lift up, pivots down, creates a bed. This turns into a bed as well. Just pop them legs out, set them aside, and then the table rests on this little shelf right here. Then you just take the back cushions, lay them across it, and you have a sleeping platform. Got a radio. So you got your volume knob here. This is power. These two buttons here are band and mute, but if you push and hold them, you can see how it's underneath it. It says zone 1 and zone 2. So if I push and hold band, it turns the inside speakers off, and it's just the outside ones. So if you got someone taking a nap, you don't have to bother them by listening to music. And then if it's late at night and you want to listen to music inside and not bother the outside people, you can turn zone 2 off. And it's just the inside. Skip forward and back on channels. Mode button right here. Presets, push and hold to save your presets. USB, auxiliary. There is Bluetooth. You would hit Bluetooth, look for Xera, that model number on your phone, and you pair your phone to it. Another spot for a TV here. Got 2 USB outlets, cable outlet with a booster. So if you're going to use your antenna, make sure that's on. If you're using the cable, turn it off. Then you have a spot to mount a TV here if you like. And power for it right there. Right below that, thermostat for your furnace. Super simple. You just push this all the way over. Then you have temperature adjusting there. And then click it back to turn it off. Another emergency exit works the same way as the one in the bedroom. Microwave works just like your standard household microwave. It's only going to work when you're plugged in. Other than that, very simple. Range light. Range fan. So if you're going to run this fan, make sure that flap is open or else the fan isn't going to vent anywhere. Folding cooktop for your stovetop. And then all you do to light it is turn the knobs to light. Click and turn. The gas is off, so it's not going to light, but you turn them to light. Spark whatever burner you have on. You can turn them all on at once if you want to. And then your oven's a little differently. So you push to this pilot where it says pilot on. Push and hold. And then as you're pushing and holding that, there is a pilot right there that you have to light, which normally aren't on the spark. So you light that manually with a barbecue lighter or a match. Once you get that pilot lit, you can turn that to whatever temperature you want. Once it's hit your desired temperature, the burner will cycle on and off to help keep that. If you plan on cooking again in a few hours and you don't want to relight your pilot, if you turn it to pilot on, it shuts the burners off, leaves the pilot on, but I always recommend shutting off all pilots before you go to bed. Fridge, very simple. You have on or off, auto, or gas. Just recommend auto. It's going to default to 110. If you were to lose power, it'll automatically switch to running off of propane if your propane were to be on. Last little bit of information about your fridge. It does take about anywhere from 8 to 10 hours to get to operating temperature. So if you have the ability to, plug it in the night before, let it get cold, and then take it wherever you're going. And that way you don't have to wait a whole bunch of time to be able to use your fridge. And then we'll turn it off. AC, super simple. The black is just fan. Blue turns on the AC portion of it. And then you don't actually have heat, but this just means right here, it's going to be the warmest your AC will get, the coldest your AC will get. If you want your AC to be evenly distributed, it comes out here. You can open them all up to have them come out there on the edges, or you can open it right here and it'll all dump out right underneath it. Bathroom. So switch on the right, those are your lights. Switch on the left, turns on your fan right here. You have a knob to open and close in the vent. Definitely recommend running the fan if you're taking a shower. Resettable GFCI, so any outlet that suddenly stops working and it has a sticker on it, you come into the bathroom and reset it right there. Controls for your water pump, water heater on gas, water heater on electric. You can run them both at the same time if you want. Make sure there is water in it before you run it on electric though. And then you can read your battery, black, fresh, gray. It'll read on the panel right there. Very easy. Your battery is always going to read full when you're plugged in. And then a little thing about these ones, it depends on, if you're looking at it above, it kind of looks like black says 1/3, but then if you look straight ahead, it says E. So just keep that in mind. Shower, super simple. Hot and cold, if you want to divert it to your shower, you pull that up, it'll come out your shower head. Other than that, you'll be using it as a bath, and I don't know many people who are taking baths in their campers. And then your toilet, just as simple. There's a pedal on the side right there. As long as you're pushing it, it's just going to keep flushing. Alright, and that concludes your video tour of your Heartland Pioneer. I hope you folks enjoy it.